Story time because this one didn't waste a single page. This is a story about a petite single mama, a rude rapper with zero decorum, and a necklace delivery that turned into immediate vibes. And when I say vibes, I mean one of those nose wide open after one kiss vibe. So, boom, meet Joe. Joe is out here doing what a lot of us are doing, working hard, minding her business, trying to climb the ladder at a jewelry store, raising her child, and very much not checking for a man right now. She's divorced, independent, small in stature, but is very feisty. Now, her boss sends her on what should have been a simple errand to deliver a custom piece of jewelry to a rapper named Big South, or Everett by his government name. And immediately, red flags. Big South opens the door with some audacity on 10. First of all, there's a naked woman in his bed, fully exposed when Joe walks in. Second, he assumes that Joe is somebody's side piece, specifically her boss, Peter Parker. Like, sir, who raised you? No greeting, no professionalism, no shame. And Joe snaps. And when I say snap, she snapped. She checks his disrespect, tells him about himself, and drops the necklace bloop, right into his lap. Like, here, sir, since you want to be weird, like very iconic behavior for a rapper, right? But the problem is that attraction is instant between the both of them, against her will and against her better judgment and against everything that she claims she stands for. Because Big South, he's rude, he's callous, he's misogynistic, even in his lyrics. Like, that's how she knows him to be. And Joe is already feeling something. Hate to love vibes loading. She claims she doesn't want that. Does she want it? So she heads back to the office thinking, okay, that's the end of it. I'm not going to encounter him anymore. Absolutely wrong. At the end of the day, guess who comes sauntering into the office? Big South himself. He shows up at the jewelry store. Joe thinks she's about to be fired because of how she talked to him. But guess what? He doesn't even acknowledge her. Instead, he goes into the office, meet with Peter, and invites the entire office, and especially Joe, to his music release party. He specifically said he wanted her to be there. Joe is acting like she don't care, but she's very much giddy that he specifically requested her presence. Now enter Bridget. Bridget is the best friend of Joe, Joe's best friend. And I like her. And she's the one who keeps Joe together. Her hype woman, resident instigator, everything we all need in a friend, right? We need that one friend. Joe tells Bridget about the invite, and Bridget is basically on her knees begging, please, let's go, please go, please go. Joe says, no, rappers are not my type, so she claimed. But we all know that spirit is saying otherwise. So we learn that Bridget has a bit of a messy resume because Bridget is the reason why Joe met her ex-husband, Sydney. And let's just say, from what I have learned so far about Sydney, he ain't it. So Joe ends up marrying Sydney, and Sydney ends up running Joe's life, the relationship from hell, it seems like. But Bridget's defense is wow. She's like, girl, it was only supposed to be for fun. We didn't tell you to go marry him. You were not supposed to fall in love and marry that man. And that right there hit home for me because I'm very skeptical of friends who are trying to hook me up with people. In my experience, they don't vet people properly. They overlook your non-negotiables. And the next thing you know, you're sitting somewhere looking stupid because you done fell in love with this man. Crazy. I didn't fall in love with him, but I like cut it right short. But I was flabbergasted. And like, you know the things that I like to do, and you know that's my non-negotiable. Don't encourage somebody that is a mutual, that you're a mutual. Don't encourage them to approach me and say, well, she'll figure it out. No, you be like, nah, she ain't like that. She ain't about to go with that. Go for that. Go for that. Mm-mm. She's not gonna talk to you. But anyway, back to the novel at hand. Bridget gives Joe the silent treatment for a few days because Joe refused to go to this party. And then we get some backstory about how Joe and Bridget met. They met in high school while they were living in Alabama. They were in a group home. Joe eventually leaves the group home and goes back home while Bridget has to stay until she graduates or ages out. So that bond is deep, trauma deep, sister deep, and Joe follows Bridget out to California. So let's circle back to Joe's ex-husband, Sidney. Let's just say he's a certified deadbeat dad. His whole mindset is money fixes everything. But he needs to listen to, was it Backstreet? Buy me love. Money can't buy me love. Money can't buy love, baby. Money does not fix everything. So now that leads me to the question of, what does Sidney even do for a living? Because why does his presence still loom like this? Hold that thought. We're going to come back to Mr. Sidney. So Joe doesn't go to Big Sal's release party. And he, Big Sal Everett, doesn't like being stood up. But was he really stood up? Because he never asked her to go. He just summoned her to go. And he is mulling this over in his head day and night. He wants to see him some Joe. Okay? So let's fast forward to Joe's friend Bridget. She is an up and coming actress and has a premiere of her movie coming up that Joe attends. Y'all see where this is going? So after that movie premiere, there was an after party. At the after party, they're drinking. Bridget is trying to encourage Joe to drink. Joe is like, no, not drinking. You drinking. I need to be the responsible one. Besides, I don't like straight liquor. Give me something pretty like a cocktail. I like that. That's me. I've taken some shots on some straight liquor, but I prefer my little fruity cocktails. But she says, no, I'm not gonna drink tonight because we gotta have a designated driver. And that will be me. That will be me. And so they are enjoying this after party, right? Until Joe gets summoned to a VIP room. Now, Joe is like, I only know one person here, and that's Bridget. So who is summoning me to a VIP room? It has to be Sydney. So she's contemplating. She grabs her friend, Bridget, and they head upstairs to the VIP area, and her anxiety is on 10 because who could this be? And she ain't trying to deal with Sydney like that. But once she gets to the door, she recognizes the guy. It is Big South Security. That's right. The rapper is at the premiere. She wants to turn around and leave. And Bridget is like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're going in that room. She gives Joe a good cussing out. Lovingly. But she gave her a good cussing out, practically pushing her in to that VIP room. So get in the room and, you know, meets Mr. Big Sal Everett. And as they're talking and in that communication, Joe goes slap off on Everett. She checks him, his disrespect towards women, calls him out in his lyrics, calls him out about the woman in his bed that was butt naked, calls him completely out. He is shocked, like, oh, for two reasons, right? Oh, how she talking to me like this? And it disturbs something in his spirit because he likes that. But anywho, he asked her, he was like, you think that I'm still that person from yesteryears? You think I have not evolved? Like, that was way back when I was getting started. And so um instead of continuing the argument with her, guess what he does? He kisses her. And boy, does he kiss her. And just like that, sucked in, plot twist. She kisses him back. She don't push him away. She kisses him back. Full lean in, full surrender. Kisses him back. Bridget, somewhere in the background, is losing her mind because Mama said, what now? What just happened? And just like that, Joe is gone. Nose wide open. Gone over one kiss. And let's be honest, Everett is too, because remember, he could not get her off of his mind. She turned him down. And so they are both head over heels with each other off of the second encounter and one luxurious kiss. So that's it for the midweek recap. Go ahead and finish reading chapters. That was chapters 1 through 4. I didn't say that at the beginning, but that was chapters 1 through 4. I will see you all next week in the midcap for the midweek recap. I'm sorry, for chapters 5 through 11, I believe it is. But go ahead, drop it down in the chat. Which characters are you most drawn to so far, and why? And what has surprised you in these opening chapters? Let's see, what else do I want to know? How do you feel about Joe's and Everett's dynamic already? Like, do you really think that Everett has evolved? Are these red flags that Joe is ignoring? What would you do? What would you do? So drop it in the chat. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next recap.